Hi guys! So today we're gonna make some more hearts. I'm excited. So we're gonna do this in a different way. It's still simple. I'm still gonna use, I was gonna use lined paper, but now I'm just gonna use like a blank paper. And it can still be lined paper. It can be cardstock. It could be construction paper. I don't know if construction paper, if it would work for my method this time, but again, these hearts can be made out of anything. I even crocheted some hearts yesterday, and let me show you these little crocheted hearts. I got a couple hanging in my doorway. I put this through the middle, that's why it dangles down, but I crocheted some of those, and they're hanging in my doorway. But this time I am going to coffee stain some paper and use my ink pads. I've got a trusty cookie sheet here with paper towel down on it. And I am going to, where is it? I've got coffee in this spray bottle. And when I get my paper out, I'm gonna spritz it with the coffee, and then I'm gonna let it dry. Now you can let it air dry, which is gonna take a little bit more time, or you can hurry it along with a blow dryer or a heat gun or something like that. I'll probably just let mine air dry. You can also bake the papers in the oven. I never done that before, so I don't know what temperature to have it on, how long to do it for. That's something I would have to look up. But for this, I am just going to let it air dry. And then, magic of video, I'll have paused the video so that it can dry, and then I'll come back and finish it off. So let's get started. I hope you guys are working on your hearts. Okay, so I've got my paper here, and it's like a cardstock. You can make cards out of it. It's just plain white, and I'm going to take my coffee and just and you can saturate it, and it's going to give it this brown hue. And let's just wait until that dries, and then we'll move on to the next step. Guys, so it's taking a little longer. So you can see my hair's not wet anymore. It is taking a lot longer for cardstock to dry. Sadly, I cannot find my heat gun, my crafting heat gun. I'm gonna have to like hunt that thing down because it's my embossing heat gun, and I want to be able to emboss. So I'm gonna have to find that. But in the meantime, I could whip out the hair dryer, but so far it's just been air drying, and I'm liking the way it looks already. It's almost got like a little design on the paper from the paper towel it was sitting on. But in the meantime, I'm gonna show you these, which, you know, for lined paper, if you did this with lined paper, this is coffee stained. And after I had coffee stained it and it dried, I took an ink pad. I think it was, give me a second. It was this lovely ink pad. And I just took the paper and rubbed this over it a little bit. And then I spritzed it with coffee again. And that way it kind of muddled with the ink a little bit. And that is what I got. There's a little bit of blue in there too, because I took one of my markers and I like drew hearts on it. But those kind of faded away a little bit, and there's still a little bit of blue. Here's my other one. I did the same thing to both. A little bit of blue in there, or green, I guess now. But these you can totally use for your hearts. These I'm actually going to use for a junk journal. I've never made a junk journal before. I'm really looking forward to it. So they're gonna be pages in a junk journal, just like this. But you can see some of the. But you could totally do this to your paper for your hearts. I am still, like I said, waiting for and these are dry. And I love the way paper sounds after it's been wet and then dries. I love that crinkle. But like I said, I am still waiting for my cardstock to dry. It is thicker, therefore it's going to take a little longer to dry. So it may not be until tomorrow maybe that I can go further with my heart thing with that particular paper, which is okay unless I get the hair dryer down here and blow it. So I'm going to try that and see if that will speed up the process. Otherwise, we'll just continue this video tomorrow. But yeah, I did that with spritzing coffee on this lined paper and then rubbing some ink on it, spritzing it again, letting it dry, and that's what I got. Super cool for journals. And then also for, like I said, making hearts, because now you could totally make a heart on this. And it's really cool looking. So anyway, I'm gonna get the hair dryer out and see if I can get that cardstock dry. All right, so I blow dried. Paper is dry, and look at the designs I got on it. And that is because it was resting on the paper towel. So that is super cool. The other side is not as dark, but the design went in on the other side as well. I like it. And now we can play a little bit. So we can take some of this red. Let me see. Let me see if I can focus this down so you can see. Can you see this? All right. You see it? Okay. We're going to take this and we're going to go. Just brush it over. Hopefully, some of that I didn't want quite so much of. But we could do the edges. Even though technically we're going to be cutting this out for our heart. Now the whole thing is rimmed in red. And we can go a step further and we can spray it again and then dry it again. Or we can go with, let's see, maybe a little bit of pink. Let's do a little bit of pink. We can take this and we can, oh, it's dark. Darker than I expected, but it's okay because there are no mistakes. No mistakes. See that? It still looks cool. Never any mistakes in art. You work with it. So we can always do more colors. We can use this as is and we can work on our heart. Like I said, we can spritz it again, and I think that's what I might do. So let me come back after I've spritzed it and after it's dried, and I'll show you how this turned out. And again, if it doesn't turn out the way I think it's going to turn out, it's okay because, hey, it's art. So, or should I just leave it like this and make a heart? Maybe I'll just leave it like this and make a heart. So let's do that. I'm gonna cut it out. So, or I'll draw my design and then I'll cut it out and then I'll be back. Okay. All right, here I am. And here is the heart. So you could totally skip the coffee dyeing too, but it just gives the paper where there isn't any ink. It's not as white as, say, that side. So there is that. And now we can do other things to it. We can write on it. We can stamp it with something else. I'm going to see. Maybe I'll stamp it with something else. Let me see. Okay, so I found a stamp I want to use. I do not have a stamp block big enough for the stamp because it's like this big. But I think I want to use like, should it be black or should it be purple or should it be blue? I don't know. On here, just some faint lines. Do you think black? Do you think more of this? Let's see. Let's see. Basically, I'm going to be patting this with my stamp because look, it's bigger than my stamp, my ink. And then we're just going to be like patting it on so that we could give it some design. So let me see. We're just gonna see this. Okay. And then we're gonna and you can totally have a surface down so that you're not stamping your couch, but I can easily wipe my couch. There we go. Just give it a little bit more fun on here. Then we could still write on it or we could just put it up the way it is. So yeah. Another heart to go up in the front of my house, guys. Have fun.